Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. We had a remarkably short Selectmen's meeting this week.
Is that because Matt Fee was the guy?
Because Matt was the chair. Well, as much as I would like to credit Matt for that, I think Bobby would have gotten through just as quick.
Okay.
But it really was because we just didn't have a lot of stuff on the agenda. But next week, that's all going to change. It's very unusual to have a short agenda like that, but every now and then it happens. Next week, we have a workshop meeting. And the topic of the workshop meeting, well, let me back up to this week.
Yeah.
This week, we reviewed a film policy that the selectmen had reviewed a couple of weeks ago. They had some concerns. We made some revisions. They adopted the policy. It'll get out online and so on. And it does not affect, one of the concerns was that it would affect photographers taking, family pictures at the beach or anywhere else. It does not affect them. So we put in specifically who does not affect. Housing Nantucket came in for a couple of things. They came in for some sewer fee waivers for some affordable housing projects they're working on. Those were approved. They also came in to discuss a friendly 40B that they were doing across the street from the high school at 7 Surfside Road called Schoolview Cottages. They're not doing it as a 40B anymore. And so the selectmen wanted to understand why. So they heard about why. It seems to relate to complexity and cost and things like that. But it's still going to be an affordable housing project.
What is that? What's going to be there?
I think
just one house?
4 houses.
4?
I think it's 4.
Is it right where we see them being lifted up?
Yes, that's right where it is. Yep.
So there'll be 4 houses instead of 1 there?
I think so.
Okay.
We also had an HDC appeal that related to some beach stairs off Medicat Road, and that was upheld. The appeal was overturned. The HDC was upheld.
What was it about, Libby?
Well, Gino, as you know...
It was kind of interesting, actually.
Was it?
Well, it was controversial.
Okay, remember how sometimes during an HDC appeal I do other work?
Well...
I was a little bit doing that because it's hard to follow.
What did they want? They wanted a deck? They wanted more...
Gino, were you paying attention?
A little bit.
It sounds like you were paying more attention than I was. They wanted a deck, but down below, I think. It turned out it had a lot more to do with the Conservation Commission than the HDC. It sounded like. And the HDC, I think, felt it really didn't have much jurisdiction over something to do with it. So they approved what was put in front of them as they normally would. And the issues of the abutters had to do with going over marshes and wetland things and
it
high
was
tide
like a
mark
boardwalk,
and
sort of, right?
some kind of boardwalk, yeah. Anyway, the HDC was upheld. Back to next week. Next week, February 10th, we have a workshop meeting. The board has a workshop meeting once a month. We try to focus on a particular topic. Usually the board doesn't have public comment or input on workshop Wednesdays, but they have dedicated discussion on particular things. So next week it's water quality. We are going to be reviewing 2015 water quality testing results. We're going to be reviewing an eelgrass mapping survey that was done last year. We are going to be reviewing some water quality initiatives that town administration and its departments have been working on. And the big thing is we're going to be reviewing the upcoming sewer project at the 2016 annual town meeting. We're going to review a brief overview of the comprehensive wastewater management plan, just so we can all remember what it is and what it says and why we have it. We're going to be reviewing funding financing options and specifics. We're going to be reviewing a little bit about how septic systems work into this sewer plan. And then we are going to have a public comment section. So like I say, normally the board doesn't invite public comment at these workshop meetings, but we want to invite public comment this time because it's important that we get public input on the project. So the project is about a $41 million project, which involves sewering an area called Nantucket Harbor Shimo, which used to be called, in the Comprehensive Wastewater Management Plan, the CWMP, and a Monomoy needs area. A needs area is a particular geographic area on the island identified on a map that should be sewered for a variety of reasons. So Nantucket Harbor Shimo is one. Another area is called Plus, And it doesn't have anything to do with the plus department. It has to do with additional parcels that should be sewered that aren't right now, but that are in areas that are sewered. For example, Meadowview Drive to Tashima area. There are some inner parcels that somehow never got sewered, but should be sewered because everything around them is sewered. So it's those two areas are the subject of the warrant article.
For $41 million.
For $41 million. And the financing is through a 0% state loan, which we're lucky to be able to get. The 0% state loan isn't going to last forever, but it's approved for this project. And the discussion will be how to fund it. And right now, the selectmen have established a 60-40 split, so to speak, which means that 60% of the project will be funded through betterment assessments to the properties that are bettered by sewer. 40% would be funded through the tax rate. There is some discussion at the Finance Committee level right now about possibly some kind of a modification of that. All of that is underway now, and I'm sure it'll be brought up at the workshop meeting. So that's what's coming up.
All right.
That's
it.
That's what's coming up. Oh, I should mention maybe. We had a forum yesterday at Sherburne Commons about our island home, and just to let people know kind of where we are with that. We have been discussing building a new island home facility because the current facility is in growing poor physical condition, and also the operational model of it really needs to be modified, updated, changed. We think the way to do that is to have a different facility, is to have a new facility elsewhere. However, obviously there is some community concern about keeping the building where it is. So we have kind of an ongoing review of what it would take to keep it where it is. It's going to be much more costly to keep it where it is than to move it. And this will all be discussed, continue to be discussed. But right now, we're specifically having a consulting firm called SK Advisors look at alternate operational models. How else can we operate the facility, wherever it is? That's underway now.
Is it possible that you could keep part of it there and then expand towards?
That's possible. Yeah, yes, absolutely. But the expense of that is going to be prohibitive, we believe. It's not practical to do that. It's possible, yes, but it's not very practical.
Well, we're not selling the land that it's on now if we get rid of it.
If we move it elsewhere, no. The discussion to date has only been about an arrangement with the land bank. Some kind of a transfer with the land bank.
Would the land bank pay for that?
Probably.
So we would get money for that?
We would. And in all likelihood, we would. However, I say in all likelihood we would, but we have some other town needs for a property that is currently owned by the land bank. And so part of this transfer would probably go to pay off that.
Oh.
But there probably, I mean, it's obviously a very valuable piece of property where the island home is now. So there may be something left over, and that would either be a cash payment or some other kind of transfer. That is all very preliminary right at the moment. So that's where we are with the island home. The consultants that are doing this alternate operational model review will be giving a report to the board in probably mid to end of March, maybe early April. But the idea is to get something figured out shortly after that, specifically as to where we are going to put the facility, so that we could potentially have a fall special town meeting to seek funds for a new facility. So
okay,
that's what's going on.
That's it?
Oh, I did want to mention.
Sure.
Regarding the sewer project. The Civic League has very kindly offered to host a kind of a mini forum about the project. That will be on Saturday, March 5th from 10 to 12 at the community room at 4 Fairgrounds Road. So that's coming up. The board has this workshop on Wednesday the 10th. We're going to have another workshop on Wednesday, March 9th. And very shortly now, everybody who has mail here is going to be getting a newsletter about it. And then the specific properties that are affected, once we know a little bit more about exactly how we're planning to allocate the costs, we'll get an individual letter about it. And we're going to get some FAQs up. Oh, I got to work on the FAQs.
Okay.
That's what's going on.
All right.
That's the tip of the iceberg, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I know I always say that,
Well,
but it's true.
you know, it's because we didn't have such a huge meeting. It was a
Yeah.
smaller meeting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. We're working on the rest of the town meeting, all the motions to the articles, and there's FinCom meetings 2 to 3 times a week, and lots of planning board is working on the motions for the zoning articles, and a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. So, is that it?
That's it, Libby.
You
We
know.
normally have a longer show ourselves.
I
but
know.
we
You
can't.
don't got anything else for me?
I don't have anything right now.
You don't got anything else for me?
Yeah,
You don't have anything else
I
for me?
don't.
All right then. Thanks very much. See you next time.